going on?
Sanders, what's going on?
It's Mega Maid. She's gone from suck to blow.
What? They're getting all their air back. Do something.
Do something.
Do something!
Welcome back to Thinking Critical. This is Wes, and it's time for my latest DC Comics spoiler review. Today I'm reviewing Dark Knight's Death Metal #4 from Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. Now, the first 3 issues are fine. I recommend them, but they weren't like strong recommends. They're like this is good. There's a lot of stuff going on. And I noticed I liked they took a month off and they did what was it? Speed Metal, Trinity Crisis, and there was another one I didn't read. And I think those worked better. I like those issues a lot more because they were focusing on single aspects of what's going on. There's a lot of stuff going on there. You got the Trinity. Each one of them is in their own Crisis universe now. You've got their support team of Harley and Jarro and who else is there? Swamp Thing. Then you got the Flash family doing their thing, and then you got the Green Lanterns doing another thing. And it's a lot going on in each of these issues. But I think it was more effective when they broke it down and we were seeing parts of it going on at the same time. So we're back to the main series and all the things are happening at once. It's really hard for me to rate this comic. It's 2.5, 3 stars. It's right on the precipice of, is this a recommend? Do I think people should continue on with this event? I don't know. I guess probably maybe. This might be a 3-star by the time I'm done reviewing because there is some good stuff in here. Obviously, the art by Greg Capullo, colors by FCO Placencia, absolutely bang on, spectacular. There's like a really cool scene where there's a fire pit with a Superman symbol where they're going to kind of purify Superman so he can be reborn as one of Darkseid Superman. Like that image alone kind of stood out to me, but I don't know. We'll see. Before I get into all the details of Dark Knight's Death Metal #4 and why I think this is like a 2.5, 3-star comic, I do want to say if you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Give me a thumbs down if you don't. Either way, I definitely want to hear your thoughts on Dark Knight's Death Metal #4. Is this a banger? Is this a winner for you guys? Are you in my boat? Are you in the same boat as me? We're like, I don't know. There's good stuff, but there's a lot of stuff going on. That's kind of my take on it. So I'm not really just going to go through all the art. You know I love the art by Greg Capullo, colors by FCO Placencia. It's been banger. Every issue that they've illustrated has been amazing. Well, maybe not amazing. There's a few of them where there's so much stuff happening. There wasn't a moment where the artist got to make a statement with the art. But it's been very well illustrated, in between very good and amazing. Somewhere in there. So we come back to where Trinity Crisis ended. We've got Batman on Crisis on Infinite Earths. We got Superman in the Final Crisis, and we got Wonder Woman in Infinite Crisis meeting Superboy Prime. And it is not going well for any of them. As soon as Batman gets in there, he discovers that the anti-monitor is like, as time goes on, he's evaporating everything. He's destroying everything. He wants to turn everything into nothing. That's what he's doing on that planet. On Final Crisis, you've got Darkseid, and he's an old, weary man now. He's conquered the planet. I guess he's been there for a short time, but it feels like eons. And he's conquered the planet. His purpose is to turn all the Supermen and basically make them his sons or something like that, like his children. Then we got Wonder Woman. She lands on the least hostile planet because it's Superboy Prime, and he wants everything to kind of go back. This was a creation, I believe it was Jeff Johns. Maybe he didn't create. I'm pretty sure it was Jeff Johns. And this is like a meta. I don't know how you'd say it's meta commentary from the comic book writer about comic book fans not wanting things to change. I want to go back to when comic books are simpler, and that's essentially what Superboy Prime is, and what he kind of represents. And he's definitely the standout character in this comic book, and I'm going to get to that here in a little bit. But that's where we are. We got 3 different quests right here. We got Batman on Crisis on Infinite Earths, Superman on Final Crisis, Wonder Woman on Infinite Crisis. And but that's not all, folks. That's why there's so much going on here, because there's actually 2 other stories going on. We've got the the Flash family are still running from, I think they're calling him He Who Laughs. Is he the Darkest Knight? Is he Batman Who Laughs? Is he the Shade Who Laughs? I don't know. He's one of the most annoying, obnoxious comic book creations in the last 20 years. Probably my least favorite new character created by the Big Two in the last 20 years. Probably easily. Started out okay, but it's so obnoxious, so overpowered. You know, when the character can essentially take a Batman, Dr. Manhattan mashup and, you know, stop him and, you know, cut his brain out and use his body, whatever, man. He's taken the concept of the character, which was laughable to begin with, and I already thought was kind of lame, although everyone loved him. I was in the minority on that one. But he's taken the characters to very obnoxious levels, and it turns out Wally West still has a Mobius chair. He's running with the Flash family, trying to get it to Wonder Woman, because they need to they need to harness the crisis energy in the Alfred boxes and put it into the chair so they can power up Wally West so he will be strong enough to fight Perpetua, destroy her, and turn everything back the way it was. At least that's how I understand. Now, there's another team that's doing something. They're not really depicted. I think they are like one panel, but the Green Lantern Corps, they're out there. Are they destroying antennas? Or are they acquiring antennas? I think they're destroying antennas. They're doing something with the antennas so they can power down Perpetua or something like that. And then the last team, this is like the support team. We got Harley Quinn, Jarro, and Swamp Thing. And they're being pursued by, what is he, Robin King? Yeah, he's the Robin King. This is the Bruce Wayne that murdered his parents when he was a kid because he was a sociopath and he's absolutely psychotic. Now, we get a lot of real estate dedicated to the story of this support team and their interactions with Robin King. I think this is meant to be the new standout character, much like the Batman Who Laughs in Dark Knight's Metal. But nothing really happens. You know, he kind of freaks out Harley because he's got the hammer that she tried to kill him with on his original world. But they're just running away from him. And then he does kill a character, but it's Jonah Hex, who I thought he had already killed. Didn't he kill them in the last issue? That's what kind of the way I took it. So it felt like these two stories are running in place. There's like nothing progressing on these two stories, but I guess he has to include it. Probably would have been better just not to put them in there. That way he could have added a little more real estate to the other stories where things are happening and it's actually condensed. And then, of course, he doesn't really mention it, or it doesn't really show what's going on with the Green Lanterns, what they're going after antennas. That's really the problem. Like, there's so much going on. There's like 6 quests. You got Batman on his quest, Superman on his quest, and you got Wonder Woman on her quest. You got the Green Lanterns, not depicted in this story, but on their quest. You got the Flash family on their quest, and you got the support team that have to bring the Trinity back from the dark multiverse planets on their quest. That's a lot of quests for one, like 24, 25-page comic book. So there's just, I would have cut this stuff out because literally nothing new happens other than Robin King kills somebody he had already killed. At least we thought he was already dead. But Jonah Hex is definitely dead now. I don't know. I think that's probably one of the reasons that this isn't so great. So what happens, and it happens relatively quickly, like I said, there's not a lot of pages to dedicate to each of these stories. You have, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, all on their own planets. Like Superman he's like being taken apart. You can say he's becoming nothing. He's like little pieces of himself. As the Animonitor's there, he's getting younger. Everything's just being destroyed. And he takes his Alfred box, which is needed to harness the crisis energy that's going to power up Dr. Manhattan until he can destroy Perpetua, and he destroys it. One Alfred box off the board, folks. Then in the other one, the Superman planet, Darkseid's there. He's got him in the fires. He's burning him because he's going to be, I guess, reborn as a new Superman under his tutelage, under his power. Second Alfred box off the board, squishes it in his little fingers. So it's looking bleak. Not a whole lot of explanation other than it's time to die, kids. Now this is the good part of the story, and it's the Superboy Prime, Wonder Woman story. Superboy Prime has always kind of been like bratty. I don't know. Is that the best way to say him or to explain his character? He's pretty annoying. I guess, like I said, he's supposed to represent comic fans that can't accept changes in the industry or something like that. It's a meta commentary on fans. At least that's the way I've understood it. And nobody really knows how to use the character, but Jeff Johns. Scott Snyder uses him pretty well here. Obviously, he mentions that, I was stuck behind the source wall. I'm back here, and I want to return everything to the way it's supposed to be, to a simpler age. I want to, the original Superman. I want the original Batman and all that kind of stuff. And to do that, I'm in cahoots with the Batman Who Laughs. I have you guys have already given him everything he ever needed by destroying the antennas, by doing this and this and this. And he goes, there's no baiting him. He's going to let me have this planet. And it's going to be the way I want it. And Wonder Woman's like pleading, which is like, listen, just because things aren't exactly the way that you want them doesn't mean they're not good. Change is a part of life. If you can accept the change, you can have your own planet and it can be whatever you want within the multiverse. You don't have to destroy everyone else for us all to exist or coexist together on their own multiverses within the DC universe. And, there's a good back and forth, but the character is definitely matured here. He's looking at things a different way. And when push comes to shove, he makes a decision. And it decides that he's not going to use the antenna to power up the Batman Who Laughs. He uses the antenna to harness all the crisis energy into the lone remaining Alfred box. Although I thought you needed all three of them to get the prerequisite amount of energy to power up Wally West, Dr. Manhattan, so he could actually face Perpetua. Apparently that's not the case. So, but the part I don't understand was when he decides to join forces with Wonder Woman, and he powers up her Alfred box, and they start exiting that multiverse back into the regular DC universe. It also extracts the other Trinity from the places they were, where they were basically being destroyed. I don't get that part. Shouldn't they have had to win two for them to return? I don't understand why they're all connected to her Alfred box. And plus, didn't they need all three of them to power up Wally West? Apparently not. Somebody, please explain this to me in the comment sections. I've thought about it. I read it a couple times, and I still don't know why they didn't have to destroy or to have victory on all three planets. And when she had victory, I don't understand why it sucked them out. But I'm sure it all makes sense. There's one Alfred box left. You can say it's got the energy there. When they make it back, they're like, we did it. We won. And Wally's like, I don't think it worked. And it turns out they were hoodwinked. They were bamboozled because the Batman Who Laughs, He Who Laughs, the Darkest Night, the Shade Who Laughs, where the hell he is, the most annoying character in DC Comics, says, because before you found it, here in Gotham talking about the Mobius chair, I rigged it to redirect all power to me. So the Darkest Night, the Batman Who Wed Laws, whatever he is, an already ridiculously overpowered character, now has all the crisis energy that was collected in the Alfred box, and now will be able to destroy Perpetua on his own, I guess. So, I don't know. The heroes do lose a lot. They do lose a lot. Even when it looks like they're going to win, they lose. That's a recurring theme in Scott Snyder's comic books. That was in, what was it, Last Night on Earth? In the Black Label series he did with Capullo. That was in the Justice League series that he did with I think it was the end of the Justice Doom War. The heroes look like they won, didn't win. Here it looks like the heroes won, they didn't win. This isn't exactly the way I thought it was going to go. I thought they were going to have a few issues where they're having to have victory on the crisis planets to harness the energy. They come back and fight Perpetua. Perpetua, I don't think she's going to be in Dark Knight's Death Metal very much, because apparently the Darkest Night and Perpetua are going to be fighting in like the new god or whatever that Dark Knight's Death Metal, the newest god. Whatever that thing is. He's going to be destroying her in there, as far as I can understand. So I don't know. Is this good? There's good parts. The stuff with Superboy Prime is really good. The art's really good. No, I'm not recommending this. This is a 2.5 star comic. This issue in particular is spinning its wheels. Not really a lot of forward progression for the story. It's crazy if you think about it. You've had This is the 4th story in the main line. You had the 3 stories last month. You had the guidebook. There's been like 9 or 10 issues so far. Plus, there's tie-ins to Justice League. This is a big-ass story. There's a lot of moving parts. You had 6 separate quests going on at the same time. And you have it looked like they won and they didn't win. Of course they did. That's Scott Snyder writing for you in 2020, 2019, 2018. It's kind of where his head's at, I guess, with comic book writing. I'm glad he's going to be taking a little bit of time off from capes. Hopefully he'll recharge himself and get back to like his Black Mirror roots. The Court of Owls, the stuff that really made him great. Although I know a lot of people like Dark Knight's Metal a lot more than me. I like this a lot less than Dark Knight's Metal. I wasn't the hugest fan, the biggest fan of that either. But yeah, I can't really recommend. There isn't enough good in this to go over a 2.5 star. This isn't a 3-star comic. 2.5 star comic. Not a recommend. If you love the story, obviously you are going to love this. If you're on the fence like me, there's a good chance you're going to be in my shoes. You're going to be like, man, kind of not a lot of happening. There's 2 things that happened. They got to Crisis Energy and they powered up the most obnoxious character in the history. Well, not in the history. The most obnoxious character in DC Comics the last 20 years. I fucking hate that character. I really hate the Batman Who Laughs. I didn't like him in Dark Knight's Metal, and I loathe him here. Such a terrible character. But that's my review, folks. Not the biggest fan. I'll definitely be sticking around through issue 7 for the whole thing. I'm not going to be reading all the tie-ins like that. That Last God, or the New Last God, or whatever it is. Not a chance in hell. I'm not reading any comic book like one shot that's dedicated to Batman Who Laughs. I just don't like the character. But hopefully somebody will let me know what happens. I'll probably read about it. Later.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I would appreciate it very much. It helps us attract more views for the channel. Subscribe for future commentary, comic book news, and reviews. And don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. If you want to talk comics, movies, and much, much more, you can follow me on Twitter at Wes_from_TC. With that, Salamat Po, and I'm out.